If you're looking into the Estonian E-Residency program, getting a business bank account as a non-resident is easily the most critical and honestly the most misunderstood piece of the whole puzzle. So we're going to break down the hard data and the actual reality of setting up that financial infrastructure strictly step by step.
Before we dive into the exact steps of opening your business bank account in Estonia, let's talk about your foundation. You absolutely cannot get approved by top-tier European banks or digital fintech platforms without a properly structured, legally registered EU entity. Most foreign entrepreneurs try to open these accounts purely with their digital ID or using flimsy overseas paperwork, and that is exactly why they face endless compliance rejections, frozen funds, or get flat-out denied. To unlock seamless European banking, your business needs to be a legitimate, officially recognized Estonian company. That's where Zolo comes in. Zolo is the absolute best service out there for global founders, helping you leverage Estonia's e-residency program to form your company 100% remotely. They handle all the heavy corporate lifting for you, setting up your legal virtual office address in Tallinn, registering your Estonian OU, and managing all your ongoing accounting and compliance. Once Zolo establishes that rock-solid EU corporate framework, proving your legitimacy to banking institutions and getting approved for your business account becomes a breeze. I've linked my full, in-depth review of Zolo in the description, so you can see exactly why they are my top recommendation. Make sure to use my link down below to get your Estonian company set up through Zolo today, which will also unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Get your corporate structure handled first, and then let's get into the banking steps.
All right, starting off with part one, the Estonian banking reality. So let's clear up a massive myth right out of the gate. Getting that e-residency digital ID, it does not legally guarantee you a bank account. A lot of people think it's a free pass into the banking system, but it's really not. That government-issued ID gives you access to state e-services and lets you register an EU-based company entirely online. But private banks, they have absolutely no legal obligation to take you on as a client. Think of the physical toolkit you get, your digital ID card and the reader, as a digital key. It opens government doors. But when it comes to banking, you've got to remember that you're dealing with private financial institutions. They operate under a totally different set of rules than the government program that issued your card, meaning approvals are strictly case by case. Which brings up a really important question. Why exactly do traditional Estonian banks so often reject remote e-residents, even when they're holding a government-backed ID? Well, it all comes down to incredibly strict anti-money laundering and know your customer laws. Under Estonia's Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Prevention Act, banks have to know their business customers inside and out. Because of some pretty massive past scandals involving non-resident funds, traditional banks are terrified of hefty fines. So they enforce a hard rule. You must have a clear connection to Estonia. If you're a digital nomad working from a laptop in Bali, you can't exactly prove you have a local office or Estonian employees, right? That just makes you too much of a compliance risk for a traditional brick-and-mortar bank. Okay, let's move into part two, the key steps you actually need to take to open an account. Step one, you can't even apply for a business account until your company is fully registered in the Estonian Commercial Register, usually as an OU, which is their version of a private limited company. Step two is getting your paperwork in order. We're talking rigorous documentation proving your business model and exactly where your funds come from. Step three is the big one, choosing your banking provider. And finally, step four, you submit everything and wait out the compliance checks. And trust me, be ready to answer some highly detailed follow-up questions from their compliance team. Now, let's zoom in on step three, because this is a major fork in the road. You essentially have to choose between traditional, full-service Estonian banks like LVH, Swedbank, SEB, or Coop-Punk, and agile fintech platforms, often called electronic money institutions, or EMIs. Think Wise, Revolut, Wamo, or Payhawk. The path you choose here dictates your entire onboarding experience. And here is a massive upfront barrier you need to know about: the cost. Traditional banks like Swedbank or LHV will actually charge non-residents application and document handling fees of up to 200 euros. And get this, you pay that just to have them review your application. It's very often completely non-refundable, even if they end up rejecting you because you lack that physical connection to Estonia we just talked about. Moving right along to section 3, real-world banking use cases. So, looking strictly at the data, your ideal banking solution really depends on what kind of business you run. If you're a global digital nomad or running an online SaaS company with international clients, fintech EMIs are literally built for you. They accept remote founders natively. But if you actually have a physical office in Estonia or hire local workers there, then traditional banks like LHV or Swedbank become your go-to. And a quick side note, if you're in a high-risk sector like crypto, traditional banks will almost certainly say no, so you need a specialized EMI like Bankera. Taking a closer look at LHV, they're incredibly popular among e-residents who actually qualify. But the data makes it crystal clear. If you are a non-resident, they explicitly require a transparent physical business connection to the country. Plus, even if you manage to get pre-approved online, you still have to travel and verify your identity in person at one of their offices in Tallinn, Tartu, or Pärnu. So yeah, it is definitely not a 100% remote process. Because traditional banks are so strict, many founders end up using what the sources call a hybrid strategy. This is honestly the ultimate practical workaround. You start your business remotely using a fast, accessible fintech EMI for everyday payments. Then you only transition to a traditional Estonian bank later on, once your company has actually scaled and developed genuine physical or economic ties to the country. Let's break this down further in part 4. Pros and cons compared. Traditional Estonian banks definitely offer the heavy-hitting features. You get full institutional credibility, access to business loans, and advanced foreign exchange and investment tools. But the cons? They are a massive roadblock for remote founders. The mandatory in-person visits, those steep 100 to 200 euro non-refundable application fees, and the absolute requirement to prove local physical substance make them super restrictive for your average e-resident. On the flip side, fintechs completely eliminate that onboarding friction. You're getting 100% remote online setup, fantastic multi-currency accounts, and really low-cost international transfers. As for the trade-offs, you generally won't have access to business loans, and occasionally you might run into something called IBAN discrimination. That's when certain e-commerce platforms might push back against accepting a non-Estonian IBAN for your Estonian company, even though doing that is technically against EU regulations. But the speed advantage of going the fintech route, it's just undeniable. Platforms like Wise or Payhawk can often onboard you in 0 to 2 days. When you compare that to the weeks of waiting, document gathering, and physical travel needed just to open a traditional bank account, well, time is money when you're launching a business, and EMIs deliver serious speed. And that brings us to Section 5, the final verdict. So, wrapping this all up, the data clearly points to fintech EMIs as the undisputed best starting point for the vast majority of foreign founders. They let you launch your business and pay in your share capital, which, by the way, is fully legal under Estonian law using any European Economic Area EMI, all without ever stepping foot on an airplane. Traditional banks are fantastic, but they should really be viewed as an upgrade path for later, once your company has actual physical substance in Estonia. Ultimately, banking is a privilege. It's granted by private entities based entirely on their own internal risk assessments. The E-Residency program gives you the digital keys to form the company, sure, but your business model, your risk profile, and the provider you choose are what actually dictate your banking success. So, looking at the hard data we just unpacked in this explainer, which financial infrastructure are you going to choose to build your borderless business?